what is a coach exactly? What is coaching exactly? What do coaches do? Why do people want to work with coaches? Who should work with a coach? Why might you benefit from working with a coach? Who should not work with a coach? What kind of coaches are there? These are questions that I think show up all of the time, right? We might be wondering, like, of course, why can't we just do this on our own? Why would we need a coach? We might think of coaching in terms of, maybe we had a sports coach when we were young, or maybe we're still in sports. We have that. We hear about coaches. We know that lots of top leaders at companies have coaches. CEOs have executive coaches. Like there's all kinds of coaches, right? But what even is this world? And what does it mean? And is it something that you should be thinking about? So if these are questions that you have had before, keep watching. If you want to get back to our regularly scheduled programming with tips and tricks about productivity, then you can skip this one. Either way, it is up to you. But in this video, I'm going to be just talking about kind of that world of coaching, what it means, and how do I fit into it, and if it is something that maybe you are seeking for yourself, how would you know, right? Okay, so let's get into it. What is a coach, right? Now, if you look at the Merriam-Webster definition of this, it says a private tutor or somebody who helps you to instruct you or train you, right? And, it's interesting when I read that definition because I think that a lot of coaches would not think of themselves in this way at all. This actually did align for me in terms of coaching, as I find myself certainly more on the kind of instructive scale because I am teaching people how to manage their time in a way that feels really good to them. So there is a lot of kind of training, teaching, et cetera, going on there. But some coaches might balk at that terminology because they don't think that that is their role at all. Like they may have a different view of what coaching is. We'll get into that scale of, where do you fall in the coaching spectrum in just a minute. But, what do coaches do? Right? Coaches help you to get unstuck. Coaches help you to figure out a path forward. Coaches help you to self-reflectively see what's been going on with you, what might be your blockers, and help you to move past them. Coaches support you as you are trying to move from where you are right now to where you want to be. They provide guidance. They provide cheerleading. They provide soundboarding. Right? They provide a place for you to think through what's going on and to make a plan and to make progress and to have support and accountability while you are doing those things. Like that is essentially, at least in my opinion, what coaches do and what coaches are. Right? Now, how do you know if you are someone who would want to work with a coach or whether coaching might be something that works well for you? Well, I think it falls into, a number of different categories, but I think the biggest one is, right, you have had trouble making progress on your own. So whatever it is that you're dealing with, right? It doesn't, in my case, it's usually time management, productivity, and stress, but like there are lots of coaches that focus on a lot of different things. It would be that you have had trouble making progress on your own, or you know yourself and you know that you benefit from a guide and from accountability. And so you don't even want to mess around with trying to do something on your own first. You just want to go straight to getting things done without so much floundering in the interim, right? You might also be someone who, you are making progress, but it's happening much slower than you want to. Right? Or maybe that you're someone who falls into this trap of, or this yo-yo kind of cycle of you start something, you make progress, then you backslide, then you give up, then you finally, get up the courage to start again and you try, and this cycle continues and you're just like, you're sick of it, right? You're not sure like how you can ever get out of this yo-yo cycle and you want to move forward once and for all. Like those might be reasons why someone would seek a coach instead of seeking someone, maybe an accountability partner, or maybe just trying to do it all on yourself, right? Those might be the reasons why someone would seek a coach. Now, I said there are lots of different coaches, and I like to think about the coaching kind of spectrum as on one end, there's like self-reflective questions coaches, right? Like these are coaches who are going to really be there to support you as you are figuring out the answers for yourself, right? They're going to ask you a lot of questions. They're going to ask you really good questions, really deep questions, questions that are going to get you thinking and coming to your own answers. But they're not going to tell you what to do and how to do it, right? That is one end. And then on the other end, there's like sports coach, right? And I think we've all, had a sports coach or seen one on TV, et cetera. But sports coach is more about like looking at what you're doing, seeing what's working, seeing what's not working, encouraging you to test things out and see what will work better, cheerleading, pushing you forward on this path you're trying to get from here to there. So those are kind of like the two ends of the spectrum, right? Now, For me, I find myself kind of two-thirds of the way to sports coach, right? So of course we talk about the hard stuff. Of course we get into stuff. Of course we're asking self-reflective questions. But at the same time, I'm never going to ask somebody, well, how do you think you should handle your email, right? Like that's not helpful for anyone. That's going to frustrate everyone, and it's not going to get you where you need to go faster. Because typically, when people are coming to me, they're coming to me because of the expertise that I have, because I am helping to share and find strategies that will work for this specific person in the long run, right? We are going to say, okay, here's what's worked for me, or here's what's worked for other people who are similar to you, right? Not everyone is like me. Not everything I do is going to work for someone else. We want to say, like, what is going to work for you in your brain? And then iterate on that process until that is a stable, sustainable habit for you, whatever that may be. Right. So lots of different coaches, but that's the scale that I like to think about. It's like self reflective to sports coach. Right. And so if you are looking for a coach for yourself for anything, right? It doesn't have to be related to time management and productivity. What are the things that you're going to want to be thinking about? Well, I think that this is actually number one. You want to be thinking about what you want from a coach. If you are someone who wants to, like, I just want to be told what to do, or I want to have somebody help me figure out what strategies that are already out there that will work likely for me, then you might go with somebody more on the sports coach end. If you're somebody who's like, I do not want to hear anybody else's opinion about it, I just want somebody to kind of help me eke all this stuff that's inside me out of myself so that I can come to those answers, then you're likely on the other end. And there are lots of pieces in between. There are lots of people who are kind of existing somewhere in between, like me, right? If you are thinking about hiring a coach for any reason, you are also going to want to do a couple of other things. You're going to want to read their testimonials. You're going to want to see what other results other people have gotten from them. Maybe you even might want to talk to a client or two, so that you can see if these are results that you could get as well, right? To see have they really done what they said that they're going to do, right? You may want to really dive into a deep conversation about what you need from a coach and see how that feels, right? See how that feels when you interact with that person. But if you are going to say, take that next step to get a coach for any reason, you're going to want to vet that person and make sure that you align with them. Make sure that also you want to spend time with them. That first call that you're having with that person, make sure that it feels like a good fit, that you have good rapport, that you feel like, yeah, this is somebody who I would like to, hang out with over Zoom, or maybe even in person if you meet with a coach in person. Make sure that's someone that you're going to actually enjoy hanging out with in that capacity every week or every other week or every month, or however often you engage, right? Make sure that it's the right level of supportive. Make sure it's the right level of direct. For me, I have been told in my past that I am, quote, too direct. Some people really love that. Some people want feedback, they want directness, etc. Other people want a lot more sugar coating, and those people probably aren't my people, because like I'm not a good sugar coater. That's not what my style is, right? And so you want to really get a feel for the person, not only what they can do and what they can help you with, but also, do you interact with them? Do you like your interactions with them? All right. So a coach, right? Let's take it back. A coach is someone who can be a guide, a troubleshooter, a cheerleader, an experimenter, your biggest supporter. But you're going to want to make sure that, one, you're in a position where coaching would be really helpful for you, right? If you're in one of those stuck places. And also, you want to make sure that whoever you hire as a coach is somebody who you see eye to eye with, right? That you feel good and safe and calm in their presence, and that they have the kind of support that you need. So this might have been a little bit of a different video from what you are used to seeing from me, but because these types of questions come up all the time about what is coaching, what do coaches do, etc., I wanted to make sure to answer that question for you here. Now, if you want to get tips and tricks about how to improve your relationship with time, how to reduce your stress, then make sure to go ahead and subscribe. And if you liked this video, give it a like and let me know.
If you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe because only about 13% of the people that watch our videos are subscribed, and that's bad.